Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's DJ Show One King Legend coming at you here. Alright, so let's talk amplifier reliability. Alright, so I got asked a question about a good amplifier to play a few speakers, and I recommended like a iNuke and a CVR. And someone commented and said the iNuke is not reliable. So I figured I would do a video on reliability of an amplifier, what makes an amplifier reliable. Of course, the components, is number one, but if an amplifier has been tried and tested and has made it, a few years and so forth, I would consider that a pretty reliable amplifier. I mean, just like you have cars that are, in comparison with each other, but one is more reliable than the other. You understand what I'm saying? It's basically, it depends on what you do with that car that's going to keep it running longer than the other competitor car, if you get what I'm saying. I mean, you can have a more expensive car and someone can have a cheaper car, and that cheaper car lasts longer than the expensive car. So pretty much now, same thing goes with amplifiers, right? You have an expensive amplifier. You pay about $5,000 for it, okay? You're going to treat that amplifier like it's a monster, like it's supposed to do whatever you want it to do. Versus if you have a $600 amplifier, like the iNuke 12,000, $600-700 range, you're not going to expect it to be a beast like that expensive amplifier. You're going to take more care and pride in it. You know what I mean? Because it can't do what that expensive amplifier can do. So you're going to take more care and caution, so that cheap amplifier in the long run can outlast that expensive amplifier, if you understand where I'm getting at, because you're not going to abuse it as much as you will that expensive amplifier. So now with that said, let's talk reliability. Now I've had the iNuke 12,000, the one on the bottom there, for probably about 3 years. Okay, the other one almost a year. So here's my reliability right here. When I hit that button and those fans come on and those lights change, that's my reliability. Okay, that every time I turn it on, it comes on, okay, and it's ready to go. That's what I expect out of an amplifier. Everything else that happens after that amplifier comes on all depends on you. Okay, so I may have my amplifier for 3 years and someone else will have the same amplifier. Let you see the name, okay, iNuke 12,000, okay, and someone else will have that same amplifier and it won't last them 3 months. Okay, you get what I'm saying here. It all depends on what you do with that amplifier after you hit that power button. Alright, so let me show you some things that people are doing, some of these guys are doing and expecting out of a cheaper amplifier. Okay, alright, so let me get my trusty pad here. Okay, alright, class is in session. Let me get this thing off the stand. A little bit easier to hold. Okay, alright, so here we go. This is some of the things that guys are expecting out of a cheaper amplifier, why they don't last. Okay, let's go with some speakers here. Alright, these are 4 18s, okay, connected in parallel. Alright, positive, negative, positive, positive, negative, positive. Okay, all connected in parallel. Alright, okay, now this is the cheaper amplifier. Okay, what they're doing now is expecting this cheaper amplifier to play 4 18-inch speakers on each side, okay, at 2 ohms, okay? So they're expecting this amplifier to play all these speakers at 2 ohms. 2 ohms on each side, okay? Okay. So they're expecting this amplifier to play all 8 speakers 2 ohms per channel. Alright, the same thing they would do with the more expensive amplifier. So running your amplifier with this low ohms will drive that cheaper amplifier into failure way faster than someone that is playing 4 speakers at 4 ohms, okay? So this amplifier, which is playing 4 speakers at 4 ohms per side, will last longer than doing it this way. Understand what I'm saying? So, being that they say that it's a cheaper amplifier, why not just get another amplifier and break it down to where you can play 4 speakers comfortably? You understand what I'm saying? Do you get where I'm going? I mean, it's like having a fast car and you have 8 people in there. There's no way it's going to go as fast as that same car with 4 people inside. You understand what I'm saying? You're pulling a whole lot more weight on this amplifier. So this amplifier will not last you as long. I mean, let's say the amplifier can last you 6 years, right? 6 years. You have just killed it to where now you may get 3 years out of it. Okay? Now this amplifier here, you can play this amplifier for 8 hours, no problem. No problem at all. No overheating, no stress. Okay? As long as you stay, you know, a little bit below that clip light. You understand? Now this amplifier, when this amplifier goes into seeing clip, this amplifier is hot. Okay? This amplifier right here is begging for water pretty much, okay? It's like a horse that's been running for all day versus a horse that's been just steadily pacing itself and trotting. Okay? Now to make that cheaper amplifier last even longer, let's go 1 speaker at 8 ohms, okay? 8 ohms. Let's go 8 ohms right here. Okay. Now you have the third situation, which is the same cheap amplifier at 8 ohms. So that's 1 speaker connected to each channel of that same cheap amplifier at 8 ohms. Now let's say you can get 5 years out of this amplifier, right? Playing at 4 ohms. This amplifier here that's working at 8 ohms, this is the comfort zone. 8 ohms is the comfort zone for pretty much any amplifier. Okay? This is like getting up every morning and walking. Okay? You're less likely to break a bone and have any injuries, sprains, fractures, or anything. This is like waking up every morning and doing, you know, a little sprinting. You know what I mean? Just not really running, but you're just sprinting a little bit. You know, you're just jogging. Okay, let's use that term, jogging. All right. This is waking up every morning and running at full capacity. Okay. You may do that for about an hour. You can do this for about 3 hours. And you can do this for about 8 hours. You understand what I'm saying? So let's put this here so you can understand where I'm going, and this should say it all, okay? So when you have guys that have the same equipment as you and they're talking about it's not reliable, you can show them this, okay? I know this is messy as hell, but I'm using one hand and holding the phone at the same time, okay? Okay, and you are running here. Okay? So 2 ohms, consider that as running. And you have 4 ohms considered as jogging. And you have 8 ohms considered as walking. Alright. Okay. So with that said, how an amplifier is reliable depends on what you do after you hit that power button. Alright. So I appreciate you watching. DJ Shaw One King Legend. And stay tuned for more videos coming your way, alright? Alright.